Well, hello everybody, my name is Roger and welcome to my channel, Rogers Reads. So today I'm going to do a list of 10 books that have come to my attention and that are to be released this year that I'm kind of looking forward to reading this year if all goes well. And as always, I put a link to all the books that I mentioned in this video below so you can check them out. Of course, none of them are released yet, but the book depository does allow pre-orders on all of them. So the first book is The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried, written by Sean David Hutchinson. Now, Sean David Hutchinson is one of my favorite authors, so I was really excited when I heard about this. So this follows Dino, whose parents own a funeral home business. Now, Dino's former best friend, July, dies suddenly. And while Dino is all alone with her in the basement, working on her makeup, she suddenly comes back to life. But she's not really alive, but not yet dead. So Dino and July attempt to figure out what's happening to her. So this sounds like a super fun book, and this is due out in the beginning of February, I do believe. So the next book that I'm looking forward to is entitled A Curse So Dark and Lonely, written by Bridget Kemmerer. Bridget Kemmerer is another author that I really like, whose work I really like. I loved her Elemental series that I read a while back, which I do plan on rereading down the road, hopefully. Now, I don't know too much about this particular book, except that it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and I do love reimaginings. So this follows Prince Ren, who is cursed by a powerful enchantress to repeat the autumn of his 18th year over and over again until a girl falls for him. Now the kicker is that at the end of each autumn he would turn into a vicious beast hell-bent on destruction, and has already destroyed his castle, his family, and his last shred of hope. But there's a woman named Harper Lacey who enters into his life, causing him to hope that there may be a way out of his seemingly eternal predicament. So, sounds like an interesting read. So, the third book is The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. Now, I'm not really that much for contemporaries, but this one really caught my attention. So this follows Kate and Jack, who meet at a party and fall in love. But as it turns out, their love story ends up being a little bit complicated because Kate dies. Yet their story doesn't end there, because for some reason Kate's death sends Jack right to the very beginning, the moment they first meet. And Kate's there again, all healthy, alive, and charming. So Jack decides that if he has a chance to prevent Kate's death, he's going to take it. However, Jack soon learns that his actions are not without life and death consequences. So if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I'm really a sucker for time travel / Groundhog Day scenarios. So this really sounds like something I'd enjoy. So the next book that I hope to read in 2019 is entitled These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. So this follows a girl named Hannah who is a powerful witch, a real witch with the power to control earth, fire, air, and water. But her magic is a secret that she has to keep to herself. Because if she's ever caught using it in front of somebody who is not a witch, I believe they're called regs in this book, R-E-G, she could lose her power for good. But then a terrifying blood ritual interrupts her end-of-the-year school bonfire, and there's evidence of dark magic, which then appears all over town. And Hannah's pretty sure that it's the work of a deadly blood witch. The issue is that her coven isn't really convinced of that fact, forcing Hannah to team up with the last person she wants to see, her ex-girlfriend Veronica, and all sorts of chaos ensues. So I love me a witchy book, and I'm really looking forward to this one. So the next book that I hope to read this year is entitled Black Enough, and this is edited by E.B. Zoboy. So Black Enough is an anthology who is a National Book Award finalist, And this delves into the closeted thoughts, hidden experiences, and daily struggles of black teens across the country. There are supposedly stories from a wide spectrum of backgrounds, from both urban and rural, wealthy and poor, mixed race, immigrants, and more. I've read some of the blurbs for the stories, and what I've seen so far sounds absolutely riveting, so I really can't wait to get my hands on this one. So the sixth book that I hope to read is entitled Stolen Time by Danielle Rollins. So this one follows Dorothy in the year 1913, who is forced by her mother into an engagement with a wealthy man for financial purposes. But she'll do anything to escape, including sneaking away from her wedding and bolting in the woods to disappear. So then, fast forward to the year 2077, where we follow Ash, who is on a mission to rescue his professor / mentor who figured out the secret to time travel. So together, they can put things right in their city, which apparently has been devastated. But searching for his professor entails endless jumps through time. And of course, you guessed it, Dorothy collides with Ash. And she ends up getting sucked into the future, or what's left of it, from what I understand. So, those of you who know me know that I adore time travel novels. In fact, I even wrote one. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So the next book is entitled Superman Dawnbreaker by Matt De La Pena. So this is number 4 in the DC Icon series, but none of them are dependent on all the other books. Each book is its own story. I actually read the Batman book last year, which I really enjoyed, and I already pre-ordered this one. So this follows a young Clark Kent before he becomes Superman. Maybe kind of like Smallville, maybe? I don't know. So Clark has to keep his powers hidden, of course. So one day, he follows the sound of a girl crying and comes across Gloria Alvarez. And in so doing, discovers a dark secret lurking in Smallville. As it turns out, Clark's not the only one with huge secrets. So he teams up with his best friend Lana Lang to search for the truth of the evil that supposedly lies below the surface of Smallville. So I'm an old comic book nerd from way back, and Superman has always been one of my favorites, as was the TV show Smallville, so I'm really looking forward to this. So the next book is entitled The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. So I've read a couple of Bill's other books, one of them being Openly Straight, which I really like. So I was excited to learn that he has a new book coming out. So this follows two boys, Max and Jordan. So Max is chill, big into sports, video games. He's gay and out to his mom and his buddies, and everybody is pretty much cool with it. But supposedly he's had some intense encounter with an older kid that he doesn't even want to think about, so I imagine that it didn't go all that well. Now Jordan, the other boy, is the complete opposite of chill. He's never been kissed, but searching for Mr. Right, who, according to him, probably wouldn't like him anyway. He also has a spiraling, out-of-control mother and the knowledge that he's the only one who can keep the family from falling apart. So at some point I gather that these two meet, and according to the blurb, they both have to face their biggest fears. Looking forward to it. So the ninth book that I hope to read is entitled A Place for Wolves by Kosako Jackson. So this follows James Mills, who is supposedly pissed off at his parents for dragging him away from his life and his best friend and his sister Anna. And right now he's feeling really, really alone. So enter Thomas. So falling for Thomas is completely unexpected, but sometimes, as they say, the best things in life are unexpected. But there's been a war brewing, and this war finally bursts forward, filled with violence and pain and cruelty, and rips their world apart. So James and Thomas can only rely on each other as they decide how far they're really willing to go and who they are willing to become in order to make it back to their families. So this sounds super intriguing, and I do believe this will be out in April, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. So the 10th book on my list is entitled The Wise and the Wicked by Rebecca Podolsky. So this follows Ruby Chernyavsky, who has been told the story since her childhood about the women in her family who once possessed great magical abilities where they could remake lives and even stave off death itself. But they were forced to flee their Russian home to America, and somehow their magic didn't come with them. I don't know. But today, these stories really seem no more real to Ruby than folk tales, except for the smallest bit of power still left in their blood. When each of the women comes of age, she has a vision of who she will be when she dies, a destiny that's supposedly both inescapable and inevitable. And Ruby is no exception, and neither is her mother, although her mother attempted to run away from her fate years ago, abandoning Ruby and her sisters in the process. But as it turns out, you can run, but you can't hide, because there is no escaping one's time, I believe it's referred to in the book. But then Ruby's great aunt Paulina passes away. And for the first time, Chernyavsky's death does not match her vision. Suddenly, things that Ruby never thought she'd be allowed to hope for, life, love, even time, seem possible. But as she and her cousin Cece began to dig into the family history to find out whether they too can change their fates, they learned that nothing comes without a cost, especially hope. So this is another witchy novel, and I do love witchy novels, that I'm excited about. So that's my list of 10 books. Now there is one more book on this list, I'll call it an honorable mention, and that is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. And this is the 3rd book in the Arc of Asides series. Now the only reason that it's not included among my list of a top 10 books is that I don't know whether it's going to be released this year or not. I heard that it is, but if it is, it's not supposed to be toward the end of the year. So as I mentioned, so this is the 3rd book in the Arc of the Asides series, which I really love. So if it does come out this year, I will be picking it up post-haste. So how about you? What new releases are you looking forward to this year? Let me know in the comments. So that about does it for this video. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. And as always, if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button below. And that'll do it. I will talk to you in the next video. Roger and out.